I went to a Fognac Island in Alaska. This area is amazing. It's just loaded with wildlife. We saw sea otters. You could just ride by in your boat. You could stand on the shore and just watch them. And we saw seals. We saw orca whales. We saw foxes. Just a potpourri of wildlife every day. And we were hunting by boat in the ocean, but it's just island after island and little bay and inlet, and we're just cruising along, glassing these shorelines, looking for Sitka black-tailed deer.
The islands of the Kodiak Archipelago encompass a rich ecosystem. Known as a temperate rainforest, the interior is mountainous, thick with vegetation which is difficult to penetrate. The Sitka is smaller than both its cousin, the Columbia black-tailed, and distant relative mule deer. While black-tailed deer share corresponding features of the mule deer, it is their distinct tail coloring that gives them their name.
It's a daunting task to think about 29 separate species that live across the continent. It includes 5 deer, 3 elk, 4 sheep, 5 caribou, 3 moose, 4 bears, pronghorn, mountain goat, mountain lion, bison, and muskox. Now what happens in Alaska typically for the best Sitka hunting, especially with a bow, is that you wait for snow. And when it snows, these deer that are up high on some of these mountains that are on these islands, I mean, these islands are really rugged country. They'll come down below the snow line till finally they're on the beaches. And what these deer eat is the kelp that washes up from the ocean. Well, as luck has it, the week that I planned to go Sitka blacktail hunting, there's no snow. And so the deer aren't on the beaches. And we have to try to stalk and look for deer up in the mountains and up in the rainforest. And it's truly a rainforest.
I love watching for an individual animal and then trying to plan and set up a stalk on it. And the added flavor of hunting the Sitka blacktails and Kodiak is you're constantly around big brown bears.
Very difficult hunt. These deer are small. And they have small racks, and a lot of people will say that they're easy to hunt in the right time of year, but typically that's early season in August when you're on the very tops of the mountains and they're still in velvet, or when there's snow on the ground and they're down along the beaches. But we had hit it kind of at a bad time. We decided that there were a couple little islands that had deer and deer sign that we could possibly do a deer drive. Now, bow hunting and deer drives don't really go hand in hand. I set the camera up and I got in a spot where the deer had to go about 20 to 25 yards past us. It was the only way through. There was ocean on this side and a giant kind of a beaver dam swamp on the other side. We've been stalking, looking, glassing, trying to get in range. Absolutely no luck whatsoever, or having a lot of does close by. So what Luke's decided to do is to set me up here right on the spit of a point. It's kind of crazy, but we're at the last resort right now. Probably 30 minutes after we got set up, here comes a doe running through, then another. And I'm talking about running right at me within 5 feet. And we saw a fox go by, and I'm like, wow, this is working. There are deer and animals, they're pushing from one side of this little island to the other. And then we see a little buck go by, and I'm thinking, wow, there's bucks here too.
Do you believe that? I think that's my Sitka blacktail right there. 10 yards, 8 yards maybe, coming right by. I have no idea how big a buck it was, but it looked like a nice one. I can't believe it. There he is, right there. Yes. My Sitka blacktail right here. Look at this. I know he doesn't look like that big of a buck. But I'll tell you what, when you're trying to collect all the deer in North America, Sitka blacktail is one of them that you've got to get. And you've got to come to Alaska to get them. And look at that, he's a 9-pointer. Nice orange rack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's a 9-pointer. Look at the orange in this rack. Look at this buck.